Successful property investors do things in a certain way that helps them become rich, while others continue to do things differently and in general tend to struggle. I've come to the conclusion that when you do what most successful investors do, you get to become one of them. And if you don't, you won't. So let's have a quick look at 6 simple reasons most people will never get rich and how to make sure you do. Firstly, most people wait too long to start. They can't wait to succeed, yet they're willing to wait to get started on the road to success. Most investors are waiting for everything to be perfect before they get going. They wait for the right time in the cycle, the right property, the right economic environment, the right interest rates, which means they're never going to get going. The longer you wait to get started with your investing, the longer it'll be before you get your financial freedom. It takes time for compounding to work its magic and grow your wealth. The fact is, the timing will never be perfect. There'll always be a reason not to invest. The other thing is that fear stops many of us getting what we want, especially in the matters of money. Be honest with yourself. How often has fear prevented you from taking action? And what's that cost you? Fear holds many property investors back. Some fear taking on more debt, others fear failure, and some even fear success. However, successful investors have learned to harness their fears, and rather than focus on the negatives, they use the fears to force them into positive action. Rather than allowing the fear of debt to stop them, some investors use the fear of being stuck in their jobs for the rest of their life to motivate them to start making a commitment to invest in property. Others are waiting till they know enough. The fear of not knowing enough prevents them from getting started. However, the irony here is the more you learn you don't know. The trap is many investors think the way to escape this paradox is to learn even more. So they read more books, go to more seminars, listen to more CDs or watch DVDs. As they learn more, they find a whole heap of more things they didn't know. The way out is to recognise that while you don't know it all, you never will. You just need to get going with knowing enough, and you're going to learn more as you apply your knowledge in the real world, surviving your mistakes and challenges along the way. It's also important to realise that not all income is created equal. Some streams are linear and some are passive. Linear income is when you get a job. You work for an hour, you get paid once. If you don't work, you don't get paid. Passive income is when you work once but continue to get paid over and over again from work you're no longer doing. The way to become wealthy is having passive income coming in whether you're working or not. Of course, that's what happens to property investors. Initially they work long hours, save a deposit and then invest in property. Now their money starts working for them and keeps giving them returns passively in the form of capital growth and rental income. Putting it simply, if you're not making money when you're asleep, you're never going to become rich. Another thing that stops people getting rich is not using systems for making money, because they take the emotion out of your investment decisions and make your results more reproducible. Make your property investment boring so the rest of your life can be exciting. To Warren Buffett, who said wealth is the transfer of money from the impatient to the patient. To become a successful property investor requires patience and persistence. Property is a long-term investment, not a get-rich-quick scheme. Yet many investors speculate looking for that one big deal that's going to land them a jackpot in a short period of time. In general, these deals rarely occur and they're speculative in nature and much more risky. Some investors look for the latest fad or the next hotspot. If you're tempted to do this, remind yourself that real estate's been the #1 long-term multi-millionaire maker throughout Australia's history. Yet most people that speculate in the latest fads have not made much money. So you don't have to look for the latest speculative area, the latest hotspot. If you create your own capital growth through buying good property at a fair price and then adding value through renovations or refurbishment. By doing this, you're manufacturing your own capital growth. So it's really quite simple. Decide to do these 6 things that successful property investors do, and you're more likely to become a successful and wealthy property investor. If you don't, you may never get rich. Oh, by the way, another way to help you be successful in property is have some good mentors and somebody good on your side like the team at Metropole. If you're looking at getting started in property investment, why not have a chat with our team to help you through the landmines ahead? And if you're already a successful investor, why not have a strategic portfolio review to see how your portfolio is performing and see if we can give you some ideas about the direction ahead.